Ladies and gentlemen and others, welcome to my channel. This one is purely for fun. I'm going to be rating the best of the worst Batman. And again, this is just my opinion, so if you don't like it, that's fine. You're totally entitled to your own. Obviously, we need to have a couple of rules for this. So this is live action Batman only. Also by live action, I don't mean any kind of parody stuff. So sadly, no Pete Holmes in this one.
Where were the other drugs going? The silly, silly drugs. Where are they? Answer me, Herbertses!
I've also excluded any kind of voice acting from either the animated series or from video gaming. Otherwise, Kevin Conner would have won for his work on Batman the Animated Series and for Batman Arkham Asylum. It's only fair if there's a comparative rating system, so this is the one that I've worked out. Category number 1, I'm Batman. This category looks at how scared I'd be if I actually met this guy in the streets and I was a criminal. How likely I would feel it would be that they would kick my head in. Part of this rating, of course, is also I'm Bruce Wayne. For this one, how well does the actor actually bring across the Bruce Wayne persona? Second category, costume. Obviously this is really important. A Batman needs to look the part. Third category, Batmobile. This is one of the most important categories. Of course, no Batman is a Batman unless he has a super cool Batmobile. Next category, villains. Because the level of our hero is often determined by the level of what our villains actually are in terms of how evil and or good they actually are. Last category, what is Batman without Gotham? The city is an integral part of what makes Batman work, so we definitely need to look at the design of the city for each of these movies. Got it? Good. Let's go. Number 6. Okay, obviously this is no surprise. George Clooney comes in at number 6. On the I'm Batman rating scale, minus 2,000. The guy's not scary at all. In actual fact, I would laugh in his face if I saw him in the streets. Bruce Wayne rating, plus 2,000 points. He's definitely the best Bruce Wayne on screen. Clooney definitely channels the entitled billionaire douchebag energy to perfection. Costume. Bat nipples? Come on, man. So the director and production designers later on claimed that they were trying to make a link between mythological characters and the superhero genre. They're also looking at Greco-Roman statues and the like in terms of the perfect body sculpting. And that was what led to the suit having bat nipples.
Get the fuck out of here.
Minus 1,000,000 points. George Clooney's Batmobile. This looks like a toy that was designed for little kids. Minus 1,000 points. Alrighty, on to the villains. Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. Absolute perfection. He brings the puns, he brings the dad energy. Arnold absolutely kills it. 1,000,000 points. Poison Ivy, I don't mind that at all. Uma Thurman plays her as a sexy kind of vamp. Absolutely cool by me. 1,000 points. That leaves only Bane. Bane. Poor, poor Bane.
Look how they mess with my boy.
If you don't read comic books, then you can look at this guy and think he's just an overly muscled dumbass. Unfortunately, that's how Joel Schumacher saw him, and that's how the actor was made to portray him. Bane sucks. Minus 10,000 points. This Gotham City is nothing but a Hot Wheels toy set fever dream. Absolute garbage. Minus 10,000 points. Number 5. Val Kilmer is pretty underrated as Batman. For one thing, he's an actual real actor. He comes in at number 5. Val Kilmer's I'm Batman rating. Scary enough, but leaves me a little bit conflicted because he's so pretty. Kind of like bumping into somebody in a gimp suit. You're just not sure whether you should stick around and see if things get interesting. As far as Val Kilmer's I'm Bruce Wayne rating goes, not too bad at all. However, he doesn't convince as really being a rich person. He comes across as a little bit too nice. Overall for both, 1,000 points. Val Kilmer's Batsuit. This thing looks like it actually has utility. At least it looks more comfortable than what Michael Keaton had to put up with. Also, no bat nipples, major plus there. The costume works, it's comics accurate, and it's kick-ass. 1,000 points. And Batman Forever villains. Main bad guys were the Riddler and Two-Face. Jim Carrey as the Riddler is absolute vintage Jim Carrey. Sure, it's not Ace Ventura, but the actor totally embodies the actual comic book character to a T. Jim Carrey was having so much fun with this role that he ended up being a lifelong enemy of Tommy Lee Jones. 100,000,000 points to Jim Carrey because he's such a total overactor. Tommy Lee Jones, on the other hand, looks like this movie's kicked him in the nuts. He's barely trying in this, so minus 1,000 points for him. Batman Forever's Batmobile. Holy crap, look at this thing. It's out of this world. This is just absolutely fantastic. Thing just shouts badass. 1,000 points. Gotham City here is a little bit neon soaked for my liking. but it does kind of have a little bit of a cyberpunk neo-noir kind of appeal to it, with dark streets and kind of weird-looking characters out on those streets. Overall, not too bad. Let's give it, 500 points or something. Number 4. Batman's number 3 and 4 are completely interchangeable, but in the end it came down to the fact that I think that emo garbage is way worse than mass murder. Pattinson goes in at number 4. Pattinson's I'm Batman rating. Hey man, eat a goddamn sandwich and learn how to fight. This guy looks like he's gonna break his wrist just picking something up. Being super angry and having no skill in combat doesn't help you in a fight at all. This Batman is dumb, doesn't know how to fight, punches like a girl. Minus 10,000 points. Pattinson's Bruce Wayne rating. I'm gonna have to say this slow for the dummies at the back of the class.
Why is everyone but me so stupid?
Bruce Wayne isn't a person. He's a mask. The whole point of Bruce Wayne is to take away any suspicion that he might possibly be Batman. In reality, if anyone in Gotham even took one little hard look at this mopey, whiny, emotional crybaby held up in his mansion with his millions, feeling sad and distraught all the time, it would take about 2 seconds for somebody to put together that this guy very well might be unhinged enough to dress up as a bat. This isn't Bruce Wayne. This is some angsty teenage edgelord. Go cut yourself a little bit and get the fuck out of here.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
Minus 10,000 points. Pattinson's Batsuit. Of course, this isn't the first time that we've seen a more military-inspired Batsuit up on big screen. It's just a very obvious choice to have your main protagonist armored up in case they get shot at. It's absolutely fantastic. It looks like it's actually functional. It looks like it could protect the user in it. And it has a perfect look for the setting within which it's placed. 10,000 points. Pattinson's Batmobile. Is this the best Batmobile ever? Could very well be. It's got a gritty, grounded kind of look. It's an enhanced version of a standard muscle car. It's a complete departure from Batmobiles of the past, and it puts it more in line with the gritty urban setting that the story takes place in. I love this thing. 10 million points. The Batman's villain. At least it's not the Joker. The gritty, grim urban take on the Riddler just doesn't work though. This is just a stupid incel masquerading as the Riddler. His plan? Totally convoluted. His aims for the city? Completely dumb. What's the big danger? Well, Batman might drown in a puddle of water. Dumb, stupid, hate this villain.
Get the fuck out of here.
Minus 10,000 points. The Batman's Gotham City is absolutely fantastic. It actually looks like a real place. It feels like a lived-in space. And this is a great adaptation of the comic books into the movie, better than what Nolan did it, and that's saying a lot. This Gotham rocks. 10,000 points. Number 3. Batman. More like Fat Man. Batfleck comes in at number 3. Fat, sad, Twinkie stuffed alcoholic Batman. Yeah, he might be old and out of shape, but this guy would scare the shit out of me. Batfleck's I'm Batman rating. 100% over the top. This psycho kills people as easily as he looks at them. Obviously complete misunderstanding of what the character is all about, but nonetheless, scary as shit. 10,000 points. This Bruce Wayne looks like he spent the past 20 years eating his feelings and washing it down with copious amounts of alcohol. Perfect Bruce Wayne, charming enough, looks like he's wasted his life, kind of tracks. 10,000 points. The outfit itself is great, looks kind of cool, harkens back to old school days. However, too bad that Affleck looks like he's completely overstuffed into it. I don't mean to say the guy is fat, but it looks like not only did he eat all of Pattinson's food, he probably ate Pattinson as well. 1,000 points for the costume, minus 1,000 points for him being overweight and fat. Batman vs. Superman villains. Jesse Eisenberg completely misplays the role of the Riddler in this one. There's overacting and being fun like Jim Carrey, and then there's this dumb shit that he carried on in this movie.
The problem of evil in the world.
What a pile of shit.
Minus 10 million points. There's a bad guy that pitches up at the end of the movie, but he was so useless I can't even remember his name, and it's 2,000 points. And the title of this thing is actually Batman vs. Superman. That means Superman is a villain in this one. How dare you punch Henry Cavill in his pretty face? Fuck you. Minus 10 million points. Batfleck's Batmobile. Is this thing even a Batmobile? It's kind of an over-armored tank with guns. Kind of loses the whole point of what a Batmobile would be all about. I'm really not a fan of the urban fascist aesthetic. Minus 2,000 points, garbage. Batfleck's Gotham City. The worst thing that you can do is make Gotham City look like any other place, and that's what they've done with these movies. Gotham City in these movies looks like just any other overpopulated, grimy, gritty, dirty, crime-ridden city. It's nothing special, it's just another American city. This Gotham sucks. Minus 2,000 points. Number 2. Michael Keaton's I'm Batman rating. He's obviously going to win this one, right? He's the first one that said it. Now, I'm old enough to remember the controversy there was with casting Michael Keaton as Batman. At that point, he was better known as Mr. Mom. But Mr. Mom knocked it out of the park. This is a believable Batman. He's kind of a little bit scary, except for the fact that he's a little bit robotic, which I'll talk about later. Michael Keaton's and Bruce Wayne rating. Keaton 100% pulls it off. He makes us believe that this is the charming socialite that the character's supposed to be, as well as being slightly just about right in terms of being unhinged, so that we know that there's a lot more beneath the surface. 10,000 points. Michael Keaton's Batsuit. Batman is a superhero, and this costume looks like a superhero costume. It also gets one thing right that the others seem to get wrong. There's a reason why Batman has a yellow symbol on his chest. In comic books, it was established that it gives the bad guy something to aim at. This enables Batman to make that the most armored part of his costume. 1,000 points for actually reading the comic book. The only problem with this bat costume is its continuous cape and cowl combo. This meant that Keaton couldn't actually turn his neck, and that caused all the robotic movement. So minus 500 points for that. Batman 89's Batmobile. The design on this is pretty sci-fi. It's got the swooping front and it's got the high wing back. Looks like a bat, looks badass. Also, this thing could seal itself up tighter than a girl's knees when Andrew Tate is in the room. But this Batmobile wasn't just pretty, it was also deadly. This thing comes with machine guns and bombs and all kinds of crazy stuff. Exactly the kind of toys that an undiagnosed psychopath in need of therapy could actually want. 1 million points. Batman 89's villains. Okay, so sure, Jack Nicholson was a little bit over the hill at this time. He needed to be about 20 years younger and a lot sexier than he was, and they had not a bad job on his side at all. Danny DeVito is still the best penguin on screen, but Catwoman's where it's at. I'm not even going to talk about her. I'm just going to leave this stuff on screen and you judge.
Meow.
Okay, so
Michelle Pfeiffer.
we salute you. Showing.
Batman 89's Gotham City. Tim Burton creates his own mysterious gothic look for the city, perfectly suited to the dark tone of the story. It is somewhat visually confused as to which decade the story is actually taking place in, so minus points for that, but overall, not a bad job at all. I'll give it 100 points. Number 1. Yeah. Shut your pile, you fanboys. Bale wins this one. Bale bats and Batman rating. Who the hell thought it was a good idea to give somebody with a lisp the role of Batman? What the hell do you mean Gotham needs a thimble? On the plus side, Bale Bat really bulked up for this one. Bale Bat is 100% effective in combat, and he looks like he could hit you hard enough to give you a stutter and a lisp. A lot's been made of the Cancer Bat voice, and I have to admit it's absolutely ridiculous. So minus 1,000 points for that, but plus 1,000 points for combat effectiveness and being the Batman. Nobody wears the mask of being Bruce Wayne better than Christian Bale. It's like he was born to play the role of a rich douchebag asshole. But we know he's actually a great method actor, so it took him months and months of acting exactly like a rich douchebag asshole to be able to pull off this role.
Kick your fucking ass! I want you off the fucking set, you prick! No, don't just be sorry. Think for 1 fucking second. The fuck are you doing? Are you professional or not?
Yes, I am.
Do I fucking walk around and rip that? No, shut the fuck up, Bruce. Do I want? No! No! Don't shut me up.
10,000 points. Bale Bat's Batsuit. The Bat costume is absolutely flawless in the Batman The Dark Knight trilogy. Not only does the military aesthetic perfectly suit the costume, it's also explained within the movie itself how Bruce Wayne actually pulled this off. This is a completely functional suit that will protect the wearer as well as make him more effective in combat. 10,000 points. Bale Bat's Batmobile. 1,000 points right off the bat for this thing because it looks like an all-terrain vehicle that is perfect for battling urban crime. I really like the fact that there's nothing that points towards it being Batman's vehicle specifically, just that it's a really tough-looking vehicle that could take on any kind of obstacle. Batman Dark Knight's villains. Heath Ledger is the ultimate Joker. He puts everybody else to shame. Fantastic performance, absolutely incredible in the role.
What, you think that's funny?
All the villains for the Batman Dark Knight trilogy are fantastic. Cillian Murphy puts in a killer performance as Scarecrow. Third best Tom puts in a fantastic performance as Bane. I didn't even mind the silly voice. Kind of added to the pageantry of the whole thing. Even Liam Neeson pitched up and did a good job for this. Overall, 2,000 points. Dark Knight's Gotham City is kind of boring and bland. It could just be any other place. Least I could have done for it is maybe film it in some shithole like Detroit or somewhere like that to at least make it feel like the whole city's falling apart. I love you, Detroit. Minus 2,000 points. So that actually was as long as it felt sitting through the entire The Batman movie. But anyway, we are at the end. Thanks again for being here. I really appreciate you. Please give me a like, share and subscribe down below if you feel that you learned anything of value or if you feel that my attempts to amuse you actually worked for once. And I'll catch you in the next video.
It's just that sometimes goodbyes are a bitch.
T-shirt, idea, goodbye stink.